Gaze upon the eyes. Look as if every fiber of your being is being ripped away by this jealous Pokemon. Oh, hey, Lapras, how's it going? Ah! I really need to grow up, don't I?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Hey everyone, this is Mikoy, welcoming you back to another episode of the Plaza Premiere Podcast. I am joined by the Steven Stone to my Wallace.
Stop.
Hey, we're in a Hoenn mood, okay?
Yes, that is true. I have been reading the Pokemon Adventures manga.
And I've been playing some old school Gen 3 at the time of this recording anyways. Introduce yourself.
Anyway. Yes, I am here. It is I, the PokeArt 2004.
Yes. Last time we covered week 4 predicts and week 4 recap and week 5 predicts. Now we're doing week 5 plus week 6 predicts. Can't
almost messed it up, but he saved.
Can't get them all right on the first try, can I? Okay.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
All right. So this week has been quite the tumultuous week, let's just say. A lot of deciding teams have been now locked in for playoffs, while others,
Are we included?
I'd say you have about 70% chance of making it in, but we'll talk about that later when we talk about it. This
Okay.
a lot of teams. Some of the teams are basically locked for playoffs, and some of them are basically don't have a ghost of a chance making it into playoffs, or just at least having a low differential than others, making it somewhat impossible, but 90% undoable to make it in. So we'll see what happens in the last 2 weeks as we cover through them, as we steamroll all through them, as we get into playoffs contention. So this week, first off, the matches are the absolute posters destroying the Bouncing Bound Suites in a 6-1 slaughter.
I did say this. I did say it would happen. Yes.
Oh boy, this was a very, very curb stomping week, and a great example of how the Absol posters just keep slaying the weeks when it matters. And now they're first place. So congrats to them.
Yes, they are.
Meanwhile, the Bound Suites are. How are their chances in playoffs actually?
Not good. Better than the Greninjas, but not good.
I believe they are. Yes, they are 6th right now. But we'll see what happens in the last 2 weeks. If they can make it into playoffs, they need some big wins. But I believe they're facing you this week, so...
Yes, they are.
Crap. Well, we'll send the funeral later. Anyway, first off, we got TSAA, the number man, beating Mossy Sandwich. And this goes a prime example in how the match went play out, because both players actually performed very well in this tier this week or last week. Both have really shown how experienced they are in OMMs by building really good teams. I'm actually show you the team that they use, and we did catch this live.
Yeah, there it is.
So these teams both have experience in this tier, of course, but they've shown that they can really use unconventional sets and make it work. For example, you don't often see Sandslash and Raichu. Let's just say that. I know Silvally common, I know Ho-Oh's pretty common, and I know Yveltal will be seeing some usage over the course of this tour, but TNM's Sandslash and Raichu comes to mind, and even Mossy Sandwich, who built Magic Bounce Milotic. That was a cool set. Haunter as well, having Hex to go along with it. That's incredible.
Hex on a very status-heavy team.
Yeah, a lot of Toxics were thrown at this game. Aromatisse
Toxics, paras, etc.
and Burns. Aromatisse showing just showing how unkillable it is. I believe it's Calm Mind, Wish, Protect, Moonblast. But I believe Magic Guard. Either way, it doesn't get really affected by the poison. Ultimately, though,
Yeah, it was Magic Guard.
Okay, yeah. Ultimately, speaking of Magic Guard, I believe that Raichu is also Magic Guard because TNM's Raichu absolutely dominated this matchup. Once the Mudsteel was out, Raichu just basically came in and had a free turn of a setup and then just used Volt Tackle and A-Speed on pretty much everything. And
Yep,
ultimately won.
It was most certainly Magic Guard Life Orb. Volt Tackle from that in this probably did a ton.
Yeah, it did. And
pretty good set, in my opinion.
But overall, it was a really good game, and Mossy Sandwich still looked strong after that loss, even though the number man looked very strong.
Oh my goodness gracious, no wonder he used it. Raichu's bases high.
It's very high especially for this meta, and especially for plus tier shift. Oof.
It's 130.
Plus tier shift. That's with tier shift stats, right?
Yeah, that's tier shift stats, obviously.
Woo! All right. Good job, TNM, on this one.
130 base attack, Volt Tackle with Life Orb. Jesus Christ.
Too dangerous for its own good, this meta. Stab and Mega, we got Ice Master beating what was supposed to be Womar, but they got subbed out for Yapt. Ice Master, nothing really much to say. Prepare to hear me say that over and over again. Nothing much else to say. Ice Master just played the better of the two. Although I do got a question. Is Bulk Up Swampert, Sable Knight a common thing in Stab and Mega? I do see a lot of Swampert usage. And I do see a lot of...
So.
I've seen a lot of Sable Knight Swampert usage in this tour, and
yeah, but Bulk Up, I'm not sure.
Bulk Up 1,000 Waves. Bulk Up 1,000 Waves.
Yapt used a couple unconventional things.
Yeah, Metagrossite Tapu Bulu was a weird.
Aerodactylite Victini, I think.
But Bulk Up, Surging Strikes, 1,000 Waves, and something, a Shore Up. A weird Swampert set, but I actually quite like it.
It's a bulky offensive Swampert set. It's kind of interesting.
Very
also,
interesting.
Venusaurite Celesteela.
I mean, that's kind of expected.
Not too uncommon, but
yeah,
you don't see that too often. Still, haven't seen it lately.
Well, probably Celesteela is much more worth than just Venusaurite, even though it gets a lot of defense going for. Anyway, Ice Master pulled off the win in a very Ice Master centric game, so good on
Ice Master.
Ice Master. Next up is best of the multi-gen rans. We got Casual.exe versus Crying. This didn't happen, unfortunately.
Wah.
Camo doubles, Yoda versus Frixel. This was a curb stomp and a half. Nothing really much to say about this game. It's just that...
I've yet to see that. I should watch Frixel get his butt kicked.
Well, you would be a fan of Frixel getting his ass kicked, but the Bounce Suites sure as hell aren't.
Hold on. Pause.
Alright.
Now, you're probably much more tired than I am.
Especially coming off from a night shift. Anyway...
Yeah.
Going back to this game, nothing really much happened in this game. It's just that Frixel just didn't really have like the team necessary to beat Yoda. Because yeah, you may have Scrafty, but is that really only your Blacephalon counter or your Side-Terrain Blacephalon counter? In fact.
Wow, he brought a Scrafty.
Yeah, literally
would be happy, but
literally the only counter against the friggin' Side-Terrain spam Blacephalon that you're probably familiar with.
Oh boy, am I! You've probably seen it recently.
I have,
Seen it recently.
I have, and it's a totally broken. Should be banned in camo doubles, but that's just me.
Yeah, Side-Terrain is like totally broken in camo doubles.
Yeah, ban it,
I keep
Council.
seeing it more and more.
Ban it, Council, please. So yeah, Yoda took the win, continuing his impressive record, while Frixel middling in doubles. Meanwhile, we get next National Dex Same 6 next. We got Tony Flygon versus Siphicon. This was a really funny game.
I loved this game because of how big brain the sets were.
First of all, we got a Mega Steelix set, a Mega Steelix War at the start first. Taunt, but not just taunt. We got body presses roaming around. And then...
Obviously, who wouldn't?
And then the big one. We got Furret. Now, as you may know, PokeArt here is a big fan of Furret. And seeing it do well here is absolutely something to behold. It used
Let's just say he blatantly predicted that Sci-Fi-Con would bring Rest, Calm Mind, Suicune.
And it used Uproar, which prevents Suicune from doing Rest Talk in the first place, and it just keeps spamming it until Suicune died. Pretty much, is low enough so it can die via rocks once it gets switched out. And yeah, the rest of the game was basically Tony Flygon just basically dominating this game, along with Signal Beam Suicune to take out Cacturne, which is hilarious.
I just really like how he kept using Uproar with his Furret while the Suicune kept trying to rest.
Yes.
It parried the first two times, so Sci-Fi didn't realize. But when he actually got the chance to use Rest,
it did.
The Uproar kept Suicune awake.
Yes, the Uproar, absolutely. Again, in the hands of a good player, a bad Pokemon can absolutely make work. And Tony Flygon proves that he's, without a doubt, one of the best Same 6 players in this pool. Nothing much else to be said. Just Tony Flygon is GOAT.
I just really liked... Can I please, wait... LOL. No, you may not.
Exactly. I love that, and good on Tony Flygon for winning in such a funny game. Next up...
You may not rest.
He may not rest, lol. Next up, we got W-Sun 1 versus Low T Outside. I totally forgot they played. And I totally forgot, they posted the route. Yeah, I totally forgot to update the thread. Shame on me, I guess, for not seeing. But Will did win and beat Low T, which was the expected result. I predicted W-Sun 1. What am I thinking? No, I'm not my betting man instincts this time.
I also predicted W-Sun 1.
And if I did predict Low T, no, that's just a wrong predict in general. Anyway, Arceus early going ham at the start, which was alright. But the big thing that happened in this game was Cramorant paralyzing both Rayquaza and Mega Lucario once they're in sweep mode. Ultimately, though, Xerneas took it down with the Geomancy, setting it up, critting and OHKOing Darmanitan and Galtarzan, which I don't think it mattered because it had Geomancy up, but still.
It was pretty much over by that point anyway. It didn't matter.
So Will took the win a pretty convincing fashion. Next up, we got Meta versus Spitfire Arcanine. This was let's see the match. So taking a look at this, taking a look at team preview here, Mamoswine actually playing the game outright. Let's play the game outright. Mamoswine was kind of such a huge threat in this matchup. When it got sent out, I expected it to basically go ham with Earthquake and Icicle Crash whenever it got sent out. Unfortunately, it kept getting
what happened?
It kept getting out-predicted, I guess, because Meta is just that dang good. Spitfire did play around Chimera quite nicely there, as you see. Towards the end, though, the Stone Edge miss at the end was very unfortunate, which I'll show you right now. Mandibuzz.
Allow me to just say.
Yeah, right here.
Meta really sent in Tyranitar to a Mamoswine.
Yeah.
Was it just that confident it was going to Icicle Crash?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what he expected the icicle crash, and that's why he tried to switch in T-Tar, which took like a champ. While Mammoth Swine really didn't really attack all that much. Well, it wasn't banded, that much we know, but still.
Yeah, and then and Meta just immediately assumes, oh, it's not choiced in any way. And he goes into Zaru. That's also weak to ice, though.
And Earth.
That's weak to ice, though. But look at that, lo and behold.
Earthquake. Caught the predict.
Earthquake.
Caught the predict really well. But yeah, the Stone Edge miss at the end with Lando against Mandibuzz was really unfortunate, and that's why Meta took the win.
That's
also crit foul play.
Why Meta won, you're right.
And crit foul play, but the Stone Edge play was the crucial point, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Spitfire actually won if that hit.
Yes.
Should have killed by that range.
Next up, we got Rob Jr. versus Lax. Taking a look at the teams here, you might think, okay, on preview, it looks like Rob Jr.'s got the bulky sort of mods. You got Heatran, you got Azumarill, you got Garchomp, you got Rillaboom, while Lax over here with the sweep variant. However, things happen in this game that, quite honestly, are pretty eh. First of all, you got Lax not taking the Hurricane pretty well and just dying by the Azumarill. And, yeah, the rest of the game, Rob Jr. just kind of swept Lax, to be honest. Even with the Kartana scare, and Webs, and Stealth Rock, Rob Jr. still managed to pull up a fight, and honestly won with, Azelf and, Rillaboom here at the end. Very clever. Game 2 was a bit more, niche, as you would say, because Rob Jr. brought in Omastar, and it was Rain against Sand. And as you may know, if you know your Weather Wars all that well, Rain will always win. And bringing Lord Heal.
Talk about how the first thing Lax used for turn 1 was Trick.
I mean, yeah.
In a team where you're only allowed to use choice items?
Yeah, why would you do that?
I just had a painful realization.
It was really funny. Please read the rule sets, ladies and gentlemen, and then you'll figure out what happened. So, yeah, the turn 1 was a bit miffed, and honestly, Rob Jr. could have done it without, but in the end, Rob Jr. just kind of went ham on a lot of these, and turns out it would win. A very dominating performance by Rob Jr., who continues to really impress in OU. But
not gonna lie, the Gen 6 clause resulted in some funny games.
We'll get to one later, but yeah, that was
Specifically, I'm thinking of TPP versus E-Win.
We'll get to that game, but for now, let's just celebrate the fact that Rob Jr. is the only Bouncy to have won against the Absol Posters.
Wow. And he's doing quite well record-wise, ain't he?
Yep, it sure is. We'll check out the records later. But for now, good job.
He's gonna be facing Easy this week.
That's a fun matchup I'd like to see, but we'll get to that when we'll get to that. Next up, we got the Anastar Articunos tying the Full Moon Frostmats. How fitting both ice types are tied.
Yeah, you're right.
It's really weird. But taking a look at the games, there are some interesting games, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go through them one by one right now. First of all, TSAA, we got Poshik Moshik versus Don Vasquez.
Question. You predicted Dawn, didn't you?
I did predict Dawn, and he lost.
And you remember who I predicted?
I believe you also went... You know what? I think you went Dawn. Let's take the L for both of us.
No, I predicted Plaku.
Shush, woman. I'm gonna check the recording.
Lying.
I'm gonna check the recording later to confirm it, but okay.
I did. I predicted Plaku.
Sure, fine.
I predicted
fine.
Motion.
What?
That is my guy.
Whatever you say, woman. So, taking a look at the game. Again, people, Belly Drum Charizard, it just ain't cut out for this anymore. Look at this turn. It tried to Belly Drum against Amanda Buzz, but Amanda Buzz followed it up with a nasty foul play. And it killed it. I know it was...
You're about to say nasty plot.
No, nasty plot Amanda Buzz, oh boy. But foul play against the Charizard. I know it was under screens, but still, people... Belly Drum Sweepers aren't good anymore. Just look at frickin' Zigzagoon. But still. But Don brought a pretty interesting team that was kind of weak, honestly, to Metagross. Not exactly the best choice team-wise.
Yeah, steals are somewhat common.
Steel is very common, and Metagross is one of the best abusers of the TSA genre. And so, as you can see from that Oka one, Wigglytuff, Metagross is just way too good for, in this matchup. And unfortunately, that proves Dawn's downfall, even with that miss. But still, the Metagross entirely really proved itself to be quite the threat, and ultimately it swept for Placo to take the win.
Yeah, well, you see why Metagross is so good is because in Tier Shift, it's freaking 155 base attack.
Yeah, and is it not RU? So it gets boosts from that?
What? No, that...
Oh, okay. Right. It's in Tier Shift mode, so 150 base attack is very common, you know? You gotta prep for that at least. I know Charizard may have been... I think Charizard may have been the Metagross counter, but still. Didn't really work out. Next up, we got Agrametelli losing to Elgino. Elgino actually brought something quite interesting for Stab and Mega. You got Gyarados, you got Shuckle, and Rotom Heat. And a Tyranitar, but... Tyranitar exists. And Zapdos Galar. Actually, I don't think it's that common. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Stab and Mega Council, let me know.
I haven't seen a ton of Galarian Zapdos in that.
Stab and Mega Council, let us know in the comments. But yeah, this game actually proved itself that Elgino is one of the most underrated OMM players of all time, as he straight up played like a champ in this game. Mega T-Tar and Lunala proved to be quite the dangerous combo, and putting up against Agrametelli's whole team, which I know it's very kind of dependent on Pheromosa being the sweeper and then the rest just kind of supporting it, but still, the Mega T-Tar combo along with the Lunala absolutely slayed this team. And Elgino just straight up played better for the rest of the game. So yeah, good win by Elgino, and please play OMMs more. I dare. You're good. You're good in OMMs. Let's just say that. Next up, we got picked the multi-gen rants here. We got Loscona Shoto beating Stareel, so yay, we win on the predicts on this one. Also because, you know, Loscono is the better player in rants. Game 1, we saw Dynamax Blossom stopping the Toxic on the Dialga by Max Starfalling. That was a cool turn, I must admit. Alolan Dugtrio at least, still being alive to mitigate Slurpuff's Unburden ability and try to lowering its speed that way. That was also really cool. And then Zeraora just winning the endgame. So, good win. Yeah. Good win by Loscono there. Game 2, Curse Registeel was the big threat of this game. Although, credit to Loscono for picking Shaman, because that 6-0s. And that's exactly what it did to Registeel. It just took hits, took more than I expected, and I don't think that's choice. Well, it's not Life Orb, but it may have been choiced, I don't know. But still, Loscono picked up the win in a very dominating performance. I mean, we know going in Stariel was gonna... we know going in Loscono was going to be the better player between him and Stariel and Rans, but still. If this was OU, this would have been very different, but I don't think Stariel wants to play OU. Anyway,
yeah.
Next up, we got Camo Doubles, Memoric beating Trace. Interesting start with the leads. There were a mirror leads as you. So yeah, we got mirror starts at the start with the normal Ghost Porygon and the Grass Dark Rillaboom, but that just leads to more opportunities for Memoric to absolutely outplay Trace, because that's exactly what happened in this game. I mean, granted, Ground Hydreigon is a cool choice, but it's not exactly the best bring, especially since we have a Volcanion sitting right there. I mean, I know it takes Earth Power damage, but still. Steam Eruption, duh. Yeah, the rest of the game, Memoric just casually outplayed Trace. Trick Room utilization was done very well for the remainder of the game, and Trace just didn't have many good opportunities to set up, and ultimately Memoric just played better. I mean, granted, yes, he is the better doubles player of the two. So we know that.
Yeah, it was expected.
It was very expected that Memoric would win. Next up, we got National Dex Same 6, Leru versus GXC. This was a curb stomp of a match. Very, very curb stompy. GXC hardcore dominated this fight. Some highlights included Floatzel critting the other Floatzel with hidden power. I don't know if it's grass or electric, but either or. Getting the defense drop on Clefable to absolutely kill it with liquidation. A lot of just liquidation plays throughout this game. And the fact in the end game, Agility Kingler was the end game, using that against Blaziken's speed boost at the end. Very good. And GXC once again proves to be one of the best Team 6 players in this pool. I think I've reiterated this with Tony Flygon literally the last match.
Did we both predict GXC?
I think we both predicted GXC. Yes.
Good.
Next up, National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got FC versus PJ. Arceus Electric beats Arceus Ground. That was a turn
yes.
that was a turn that happened, and I thought it was funny. Mega Mewtwo Y, though, was the MVP of this game. Getting a lucky freeze on the Mega Latias, and then just nasty plot, Psy Strike and Ice Beam, sweeping the endgame for poor PJ. So FC took the win there. Next up, we got Trichotomy versus Felines and Monotype Cap. Oh boy, this game. It's Moltres missing 3 Hurricanes. Fitting how the nickname says, F this world.
Oh, you're right.
That was really expected, and you know what? That name and the fact that it missed Hurricane 3 times, ironic.
3 in a row, yeah.
Ironic, but also poetic. Next,
nicknames matter, I guess.
Nicknames do matter. Dragonite's Thunder Punches and Ice Punches beating Celesteela and Venomicon. That was cool. Even opposing Gravity Lando has its advantages, as Trichotomy's own Lando used the one Felines used to his advantage, and so Lando just kept earthquaking until the end game where Trichotomy won.
Yeah, I gotta say, well, seeing the sub-gravity Lando from Felines was cool at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It was ultimately what did him in as well.
So yeah,
with Trichotomy as a result hitting all of the Hurricanes and killing the Lando with an earthquake.
Bit the hand that feeds you, I guess. So yeah, Trichotomy, obviously best Monotype Cat player as we've seen so far, will continue to impress in the coming weeks.
Poor Felines, though.
Yeah, for being the inventor of Monotype Cap, he hasn't had exactly the best time in this tier.
Yeah, come on, Cap Monotype, you gotta step it up.
So yeah, encouragement. Mystery OU, we got Reginald beating Splorsh, and you've predicted Reginald would win.
Yes, I did. You did not.
Well, this game Well, this game didn't even. Well, this game wasn't even that interesting. Well, first off, we got Gen 8 with Raji just bringing Dracozold Sand offense and just winning with it. And then Gen 7, we saw Chansey bringing counter to beat Mega Beedrill. That was fun. But Snorlax also came in, critting Magearna to OHKO it. That was also a thing. Reginald just brought a lot of normal types and won with him. So yeah. Congratulations, Reginald.
Yeah. They both brought Avalugg too.
Yeah, Avalug's good in inverse. Let's just say that.
Yes it is. Ice in general is great in inverse.
And Avalugg is the best abuser of it. So yeah, Reginald beat Brazilian Splash and is 2-0, I believe.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Ruinheim Runerigus beating the Grand Order Greninjas. So I don't think the Greninjas are exactly in a great position. Although they have a great team.
And a great logo.
It's not looking good for the Runeriguses. Let's just say that. First off, in TSAA, we got Longheat beating Sasha. This was an act win, so let's move on to next up. Stab and Mega, Sage versus Dr. PhD BJ. This game, oh boy, this was something. Dr. PhD looked to be in the lead, especially the way Snorlax walled Spectrier. That was golden. Unfortunately, Giratina missing a Poltergeist against Buzzwole, not carrying Shadow Sneak, and Victini just being a constant presence allowed Sage to pick up the W. It was quite unexpected, and yeah, I really had my money on Dr. PhD BJ to win here, but Sage just picked up the upset with this with the fault of that Giratina not having Shadow Sneak, which he kind of needed, to be honest. Because it was good. It had Dragon Dance, Dragon Darts, Poltergeist. Didn't get to see the fourth move. So yeah, good win for Sage. Next up, we got Expulso beating Raichi in Rands. Both games weren't actually all that interesting. It was just Expulso just outplaying the F out of Raichi. Game 1 had Dynamax Rayquaza and Sturdy Sock being the MVP. Well, Game 2, Blissey just kept walling Kyurem White. It was funny. And Gliscor was MVP on Game 2. So good win for Expulso. Finally, we get Expulso finally winning.
Yeah, wow. That's a first.
And hopefully the luck continues. But unfortunately, from a player finally winning a game to a player who lost his unbeaten streak. Camo doubles! Kepper losing to Roldsky. Yikes. Wasn't even a good game, to be honest. It was kind of meh. Kepper bringing kind of a unique, but very outmatched team when compared to Roldsky's. I mean, look at this one, folks. You got Bug Steel Araquanid, you got the Water Electric Dragapult, and you got the rest. You got Torkoal and Porygon too, against Roldsky's honestly better team, and kind of expected that Roldsky would win in hindsight. And
Bug Steel Araquanid is actually interesting.
Yeah, it's very good. Although, I do gotta point out this one flaw here. Why did you have to keep in Dragapult when Rillaboom was obviously yet in the field and doing high horsepower to you? Bad. Yeah. That was kind of a bad choice. I guess it was a sack, but you kind of need it, honestly. Especially against Zapdos, especially against Genesect, etc., etc. Not even Torkoal Eruption couldn't kill anything. And Roldsky just picked up the kind of not easy because Kepper's been fantastic, but yeah, just the outmatched.
Underwhelming win?
Underwhelming. Just like the one with Zefable in week 1. Even though Roldsky's great, it's just his wins so far in this tour aren't exactly the best impressive. And also, as for this one, kind of the predictable result. when looking at preview. Next up, Ascal versus Arsenine. Nothing really much else to say there. Okay, fine. I'll just mention Curse Sylveon. Wow.
Yes.
I
yes,
love
that
this.
Was amazing.
I love that set. Return and Quick Attack just get spammed and sweep. It was great. Arsenine.
Yeah, like Curse Stab Quick Attack
with Pixelate. Very good set. Very good set. And ultimately picked up the win. And everything was kind of weak to Sylveon by that point. But still, that was an incredible set. Would like to see more creativity from that. Next up, we got Ayaka beating Star Master in a very unfortunate game.
What did we predict for this?
I think we predicted Star Master.
Both of us?
Yes. Take the L. Star Master actually, well, credit to Star Master though. He actually looked to be in the lead until Rayquaza dropped the Draco and killed Eternatus, which confirming, he calced afterwards that Rayquaza had 0 special attack investment. It still killed it via low roll. It's a low roll still killed it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
It was interesting. Although I do gotta credit to Star Master for bringing Buginium Z Calyrex, which killed Arceus.
Yeah, I did not expect that to kill. What was the bug type move it was using?
Hell if I know, but that was incredible. But
look what it learns. That's bug.
I even don't know. I'll have to check that later. Maybe it's something funny like Leech Life or something.
I'm checking it now.
Alright. Yeah, Pollen Puff. Pollen Puff makes sense.
It literally only learns Pollen Puff.
Yeah, I guess so. But credit to Star Master for using the Z move of it. Next up, but the crucial point of this game has to be that Calyrex speed tie win by Ayaka, which ultimately reverse swept and took the win.
How do you know it was a speed tie? It could have been Scarf.
Oh. Well, if it was Scarf, then yes, Ayaka won by that point. But we wouldn't know. I'm just trying to guess here. But normally it would be a speed tie, but still. So yeah, Ayaka took the win after that. Next up is a Gum versus Tear, and I do gotta credit both their names that they used during the battle is really funny. What is it? Defcon 4 versus Laurel Hell? Or something like that?
Yeah.
So, Kitsuno being unluckily burned at the start was unfortunate. Losing Dragapult to Pelipper was one of the factors that led to Tear's defeat. But the rest of the game, I was thinking to myself, okay, Blacephalon and Revenant are presences, and hopefully that they could reverse sweep and ultimately pick up the win. Unfortunately, letting Blacephalon getting toxic, yeah, Gum had the match won by that point, especially with Toxapex running around, and not utilizing Revenant enough. It was kind of an unfortunate loss, and not a very well played loss too. Gum ultimately took the win. Next up, excuse me, we had to have one burp in these videos, please.
No, no, you don't.
Excuse me. At least I said excuse me, and you heard it. So next up, finally, we get to talk about TPP versus Ewin. What?
Yeah.
What? That just sums up what exactly is my impressions of this game. First off, the Gen 8 game, Exploding Lando to start, and then I know Jirachi was setting up Cosmic Power, and it was also under screens, and Thundurus sets up Nasty Plot ready to thunder. Unfortunately, it missed. And I
I'm
know
not sure it would have killed, but in fact, it probably wouldn't have. But
it
that
wouldn't
was
have.
still unfortunate.
And I know TPP's endgame was trying to safely kill Jirachi without activating the weakness policy, but it was kind of
Nah, his endgame was trying to freeze it.
yeah, well, he was trying to not let it activate the weakness policy, which it obviously had.
Yes, it did.
And ultimately, Ewin picked up the win there. Game.
He got Demon Rachi'd. Poor TPP.
Yeah. The Gen 6 game, double fling at the. The double fling at the start was funny. I know why Ewin did it. It's just really funny. But yeah, you were saying?
It was more than just double fling.
Let's see.
I will look at the 2 Pokemon that didn't use it and see if they can learn it.
I believe I know which 2 are you talking about.
Bikini can learn it.
Yeah. Every one of his Pokemon can learn Fling. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Breloom can learn it too. So I think all of TPP's Mons had Fling.
He didn't want the choice. He just didn't like the choice. But yeah.
He actually, as Ewin put it, he actually defeated the purpose of the gimmick.
Well done, DPP. You just broke the rule set in of its face. Also, Dragonite fling the choice band. That's hilarious. All right, so yeah, nothing much else to say about that game other than those flings. Ewan just ultimately played it better. Ultimately won.
I really feel like you've defeated the purpose of the gimmick, lad.
Hilarious.
I mean, it's TPP. He can do that if he wants to. He is the tour.
He is the tour, therefore he's... Oh, no, never mind.
Therefore, he breaks the gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
He defeats the gimmick.
And finally, we got the Gotham Golbats losing to the Balletta Drive Bayonets.
Yeah!
That's your 3rd win?
Yes, it is.
3-1. 3-1. 3-1-1?
Yeah, 3-1-1.
3-1-1. First off, TSAA, we got the Dragon Master versus Euphanos. Oh boy, I saw this game live and it wasn't that spectacular, to be honest. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because Euphanos' Dialga, despite having a weird assault vest regenerator set with dragon breath, it completely walled Ab's entire team. Straight up walled it or beat it.
Not completely.
What do you mean?
It didn't quite wall the Ho-Oh. The Ho-Oh had Earthquake.
It had thunder.
The thunder didn't actually do a ton.
Euphanos just straight up walled Ab's entire team.
And for what wasn't walled, it was metal bursted.
And yeah, so the game basically was Dialga versus everybody, and Dialga wins. Shame for
Dialga versus the world. Hey, wait.
the time versus the world. It's all a JoJo's reference. He is a Time Lord after all.
No. It's not Dialga versus the world. It's the Dragon Master's entire team versus the world, and the world is Dialga.
Yeah. So Dialga basically.
You're interrupting me.
So yeah, Dialga chose his inner Time Lord and won. Next up.
As you predicted Euphanos to do so, right?
I did. I predicted Euphanos. Next up, we got Andy Boy beating Axel. Losing
Not happy about that.
losing Blissey at the start was pretty bad for Axel, to be honest.
Yes, it was.
He kind of needed Blissey. Charizarded Wise Celebi was admittedly a pretty cool set. And then Andy's...
Yeah, as Axel said, I got onion.
You got Celebi. Andy's Pheromosa...
Stella beaten.
Andy's Pheromosa ended up cleaning the rest of the game, but yeah, those early turns of losing Blissey and then the Charizarded Wise Celebi reveal, that was cool, and Andy Boy took the win.
Also sucked? Losing that speed tie with the Pheromosa.
That was also pretty unfortunate, and Pheromosa definitely...
I don't know how much it truly mattered by that point, but still,
Pheromosa could have been a threat, but unfortunately we lost. Next up, Crunchman versus Michael Derbest 2 and Rans. The Battle of the Streaks. It was...
Actually, I think Losco's got more of a streak going than Crunch now.
Yes, he does. And both games were ended interestingly. First off, the game 1. Really, the only highlight is Mewtwo failing to kill Glastrier. That was funny. Crunch lost to Timer.
He lost anyway.
It did, meh. And then game 2, where we had kind of more substance with Whimsicott living a Lycanium Z at full. That was interesting. Weavile, once again, I think scared Crunchman, and that forced him to lose to Timer. Again.
Michael won anyway.
It's the same...
12-0.
12-0. He never lost a game in Rans yet, people.
Yeah, he's 12-0.
Well, no.
Because he already played for week 6.
Frick, you're going to say what I was going to say. We'll talk about Michael's win later, but we'll see. Next up, Camo Doubles. We got Classia losing to Z, where the game was already decided via turn 1. Turn 1.
I know Classia asked to not talk about turn 1. He literally asked this in my own server, in my own team server. He says, we don't talk about that turn 1 at all, okay? We don't.
I will. Classia faked out a normal ghost Whimsicott, and then lost his Lando to Zygarde, which decided the whole game. That is literally the only note I have on this game, and boom. It was decided via turn 1. National Dex, same 6.
I feel Z probably would have won anyway, but yeah, that was a pretty bad turn 1.
National Dex, same 6. We got TDK losing to Shiloh. Or Shiloh beating TDK. Magnezone War with Hidden Power Ground was really funny, especially since one of them, I forgot whose Magnezone, but it had Endurica Stepberry.
That was TDK's.
That was really funny. Also, what's also really funny was that both Plusles dying to HP ground.
Yeah.
Rest of the game, though, was pretty played straightforward. Politoed was getting in good positions to try to perish Song the rest of the competition, and ultimately got it on TDK's own Politoed, and got the win.
Perish Song was such... No, that Politoed, I meant to say, it was such a good mon in that game, because
yes.
It prevented Clefable from setting up.
It had, I believe it was Toxic, Perish Song, Encore, Earth Power?
Yes.
That was the set. It played very straightforward, and basically stopped Clefable from getting anything done, which ultimately...
And it basically took out the rest. It basically helped take out the rest of TDK's team.
Yeah, it was...
Even when TDK's Politoed, with seemingly similar investment, healed all the way back to full, that still didn't stop it. Our Politoed never healed. It just survived longer.
That's why Politoed is very underrated special bulk-wise. Next up, National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. We got Bacon Eating Assassin versus Kate.
Pain.
Letting Ray getting paralyzed in turn 1. Yikes. But other than that, nothing really major happened in this game. Bacon just played this a whole lot better than Kate, with Primal Groudon and Arceus Fairy being the MVPs. So, good win for Bacon there. This was also the last game played, and Kate hasn't got a win yet. Right?
Yeah, no wins from Kate yet.
Aww. Next up, a similarly bad game for, at least for you, Pokeard. We got Roxy versus Spoo. Roxy versus Spoo in Monotype Cap. Water versus Electric.
Hey, it wasn't exactly a bad game in general, though. I think Spoo played that really well, considering the horrid matchup he had.
He played
It was
fine.
incredibly close, if you remember.
He played fine. He definitely tried his best. But yeah, Electric Terrain with Raichu.
Look, I'm under the impression that Spoo had more of a chance if he didn't use Yawn that one turn.
I mean, it kind of cost him in the end, so yeah.
No, the thing is, I don't think he quite realized that Earthquake was free that
Aw.
turn, because that was Spec Zapdos, so it was gonna switch out.
Oh well. Well.
However, then again, it might not have mattered because the Tapu Koko would have lived in Earthquake anyway, since it was apparently Shuka Berry.
Aww. If it was instead Shuka Berry, well, did you watch Roxy's video on it to confirm it?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I heard it was Shuka Berry.
Okay. So yeah, go watch Roxy's video if you haven't already. He explains his game better than I can. And then finally, Mystery OU, we got Zen versus Tectonic Destroyer, which Tech once again pulling off the upset. Even though he kind of played better.
Shouldn't have underestimated Tech.
He did play really well against Zen here. First of all, Gen 8. Suicune Burning Ferrothorn was a thing. Rotom trying to break Clefable but couldn't. And then Clefable carrying Thunder, not only to paralyze Primarina, the Senna Primarina, but also to beat it.
Yep.
And then the Gen 7 game, Avalugg was a really good Rapid Spinner. We talked about Avalugg being good. And I believe that Dragonite's banded? Because its Eat Speed was killing everything.
Miko, you're cutting out a lot.
Oops.
I didn't watch these games.
But, yeah, Tech pulled off the really good win. It was a really good win, a very dominating display. I wish Tech's OU is just as... Well, we have seen now that Tech's OU is good, but will it be just as good?
Nah, we're gonna slot easy in for the future.
Fine. And speaking of...
Tech was good here. But, like... easy is preferable.
Okay. Speaking of slotting in, it's now time to move on to Week 6 predicts. And here are the tiers. See? Much better than last week.
And here are the logos.
And yes, we do have now logos, so feel free to either roast the Absol posters and the, who else memed? Renerigas, even though Renerigas, it makes sense. We love Monster. But also praise, because PokeArt actually made some of these logos.
Okay, but Mikoi, I noticed you used the wrong image file for the Greninja's logo.
Oops, I might have to change that. I will change that. Or Docky will.
It's not transparent.
Well, I'll ask Docky. Anyway, first off, it's time to predict. Right, we gotta show the standings. As normal, as we normally do. Also, we'll use the Ufino sheet. So number one, we have the Absolute posters on the top with 13 and with 8 points. Second place is the Renerigus in with 8 points, and I truly believe that those two teams are locked. Like there's no way they'll lose. There's no way they'll lose this spot.
Considering the Runerigises are facing the Frostmoths and the Absols are facing the Greninjas, literally two of the worst teams right now, I think they're locked.
They are permanently locked. Number three, we have.
Funnily enough, we're facing number 6.
Yeah, and number 4 and number 5 are facing off. That works out really well, actually, in terms of consistency. Number 3, the Bayonets.
The top 3 are facing the bottom 3.
Yeah. Number 3 being the Bayonets. I think if they keep this, if they don't have a sucky week, I think they're locked.
Yeah.
And then number 4, I think that number, and once again, this is the same thing that happened in BLT. The number 4 slot is arms race between the Articunos and the Golbats, and maybe even the Bounce Sweets if they have a really good if they have really good weeks in weeks 6 and 7. I think Bounce Sweets could easily have a shot here as well. But the Articunos and the Golbats, I think they are pretty much the two closest and the two who will race for that number 4 slot. Greninjas and Frostmoths, though, ugh.
The Bounce Sweets are actually going to have to battle the Articunos in week 7.
So, very huge implications come week 7, but that's for next week. This is this week. Let's predict.
Yes.
Absol posters versus Greninjas. Number 1, we got the TSAA versus the Number Man versus Sasha. Can you say slaughter? Can you say murder?
Yes, I can say slaughter.
Can you say murder, Number Man?
Sure.
Number Man is going to absolutely annihilate Sasha. Even though Sasha...
Absolutely, you say.
Absolutely, indeed. Sasha, we know Sasha can be good, but he has been struggling in this tour in general. So, and this isn't much better. The Number Man is absolutely going to win.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute victory.
Absolutely victory. Stab and Mega, we got Ice Master versus Sage. I think this is a personal highlight match because both players have been very good.
Ice Master.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Ice Master as well. The Ice Master has been a step above a lot of these Stab and Mega players. Sage is good, but I'm not surprised if Sage wins, but Ice Master definitely should pull off the win here. Bring 12, pick 6, multi-gen Rans. Casual.exe versus Expulso. This one's a highlight. Because both, even though...
Because both are kind of middling.
Well, highlight because both players can do Rans really well. Really well.
Really? Why are you saying it like that?
It's funny. Okay. I think the safe pick here is Expulso, so I think we're going with him.
I'll go with Expulso too, although I won't be surprised if Casual wins.
It's Rans. Anything can happen. Camo doubles. Yeah. Yoda versus Kepper. Oh boy. Some memes are going to happen. I hope. I want to see. Wow. Okay, you're really going with the Yoda train on this one. I'm the betting man. I of course am the betting man, so I'm going to say Kepper wins.
Okay. If you say so.
National Deck same 6, Tony Flygun versus Askov. I mean, really? Do we need to say anything else? Tony Flygun is one of the best same 6.
My God.
He's a god. He's a god at same 6. He's a god at building. Tony Flygon. National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms W Sun 1 versus Star Master. This one's gonna be fun as well.
Hard to say.
I'm going with... Okay, we know... Okay, let's actually check their record. Will is 4-1. And Star Master is 3-2. This gonna be fun. This gonna be fun. I think I'm going with the safe pick, and by safe pick I mean Will.
Wow, you think that's a safe pick?
I believe so. Will's been impressive. Star Master has been a step below Star Master level. Normal Star Master, like you say, this is normal Star Master level, and Star Master right now in TPP has been a step below. But he's still really good.
Alright, that makes sense. Funny thing you say that, I'm predicting W Sun 1 as well.
Alright, so we're both agreeing here. Monotype Cap, Meta Riola versus Gum. Meta, easily. And then Mystery OU, Lax versus TPP.
Lax.
I hate to predict against TPP, but Lax.
Wait a minute, did we just predict that 7 of the Absols win here?
Expulso is the only one who wins? Oh no! The
fact that the only one we didn't predict Absols for is Rans means this could be an 8-0.
This is an absolute slaughter. I'm sorry, Greninjas. I hope you do well.
It is an absolute slaughter.
I'm sorry, Greninjas.
Literally.
I hope you pull off the upset win. Go, Greninjas! Alright. Next up, the
I
Goth...
don't care, apparently. so I don't expect much.
Okay. Gotham Golbats versus Anastar Articunos. I think this week will be the crucial one because the winner of this will be the team that is front-running 4th right now.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's actually a really fun week for both of these teams, and I hope to see some close matchups. First off, TSAA Advita versus Plakuzek. Ad's been doing okay. He's been doing decent. But Poshik Moshik also is kind of doing decent. Let's actually check their records. So let's see. We got the Dragon Master, who's 1-4. So, little low average. And the Articunos' Poshik Moshik is 3-2. So, Poshik Moshik it is.
Interesting.
Who are you going for?
That's difficult. I think I'll go Plaku.
Alright. Stab and Mega, Derpy Boy versus Agromentally. Finally, we get to see Derpy Boy back again for Stab and Mega. But he's going up against a pretty good player in Aggro. I'm gonna say Aggro. Despite the setback from last week, I think Aggro still is good.
I guess that's fair. I think I'll go the same.
Bring 12, pick 6, multi-gen rants. Now, speaking of Loscono and Crunchman, here they are facing off against each other.
Yes.
Sorry, Crunchman, but the spirals keep on rolling down. Loscono to win.
Yep, let's go.
Camo doubles, Martin V. Tran versus Shadow Monster. Martin V. Tran can do doubles. Just a little reminder for those. Martin V. Tran can do doubles well. Shadow, we've known, he's been around since the first TPP. He's been around the doubles, a mainstay for a long time. And it's time finally Shadow gets a win. So Shadow. Sorry, Martin.
I want to predict Shadow too, but it hasn't been going too well.
He's winless, I believe. Unfortunately.
Yes, he is.
Oh man. Let's let's see if Shadow can pull off an Expulso and win. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Shadow as well.
Even though
I won't be surprised if Martin V. Tren wins.
National Deck Same 6, TDK versus Leiru. Now, this is interesting. Both players haven't been doing the best in Same 6. So, but both are still really good same six builders and can absolutely win when given the proper prep. Uh, this one's gonna be close. I'm going to say TDK.
I am also going to say TDK.
I like this game more than Leroux last week.
Yeah.
National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms. Bacon versus FC. I don't think this is any surprise. FC.
Yeah, I agree, FC, but I think this should be a good match.
Speaking of highlights, absolute highlights. Monotype Cap, Roxy versus Trichotomy.
Trichotomy.
Whoa! Already?
Yes.
Would you be surprised if Roxy wins?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm going with Trichotomy as well, but
Roxy didn't play super great last week, okay?
Just because you're a Bayonet. Okay, I'm going on.
Not that. It's because like
Think
it's
objectively, Pokemon.
someone in our server said that Roxy pretty much had a 100% win.
Okay.
And that game was really close.
Okay, okay. I'm also gonna pick Trichotomy, but I won't be surprised if Roxy wins.
I will be. Trichotomy is a beast.
Mm-hmm. Mystery OU, Astrolidia versus Splorsh. We haven't really seen both players play all that much. Although
Astrolidia.
Wow, already.
Splorsh has never really impressed me.
Even in BLT, he has been kind of middling. So, yeah.
Also, Astrolidia took Rob Jr. to a Game 3.
That should tell you pretty much everything you need to know. Astrolidia as well.
I think we got really lucky during that game.
Yeah, so yeah, Astrolidia to win this one. Alright, finally, well, not finally. Next up, we got the Ballet Drive Bayonets versus the Bouncing Bounceweights. TSAA, we got Game 3 of the never-ending feud, the never-ending rivalry between Euphanos and Mossy Sandwich. How many dang times does these two gotta fight in some OM tour, huh?
No idea.
It's an ongoing... Here we go again with these two.
I wonder what their records are against each other.
I'm legit curious to know. Please post anywhere in the comments or in the thread, whichever. I legit want to know how many times you guys.
Euphanos.
Yeah,
maybe he's up right now.
Well, for this one, Euphanos and Mossy Sandwich both are very close with one another. Let's just say that. Euphanos to win, though. I think Euphanos.
I'm glad you think so.
I think Euphanos has done way better than Mossy in this tour, at least. So, let's go Euphanos. Stab and Mega.
Of course, I predict Euphanos too.
Well, you're a Bayonet. Of course you will. Stab and Mega. Axel versus Womar. This should be fun as well. Even though Womar, we haven't seen a lot from Womar. He's still a great Stab and Mega player. Don't underestimate Womar at all. Even though Axel is also a pretty great Stab and Mega player. So,
I am honestly a little worried.
Hype. I'm going with the betting man instinct in me says Womar, so I'm going to say Womar, but only slightly. I won't be surprised if Axel wins, though. I won't be surprised at all. Multi-gen...
Is that, okay?
Yes, okay. Multi-gen Rans. Michael their best versus Crying. This already happened. And Michael their...
Yes, it did.
Michael their best just wouldn't want to let his predictions predict against him. Sure, Michael their best to win. Even though I already...
Allow me to just say... Imagine getting a player who is both a GOAT and very lucky.
And no Johnner as well. And no...
Like, I tell you, Michael Derbeste has been getting a lot of good luck in his recent games.
He's the number one in ladder for a reason. Yeah, he's never lost. He's 12-0. He's literally never lost a Rans game in this tour. So
You
yeah,
totally cut out fully just then.
I
think that's what you just said.
yes. Camo doubles. Z versus Frixel. My God. Does the betting man?
It's one thing.
Hmm? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's one thing to watch. It's one thing to watch Frixel get beaten, but it's another thing to watch your own teammate do it.
Zafable to win. Sure. National Deck same 6. We got PokeR 2004 versus Cificon for like the 1000th time.
What? 1000th?
Well, in terms of room tours, how many times have you actually fought? Like in tours room events?
In room tours? How would I know?
Well, no. In tours room events, how many times have you actually fought against each other?
Maybe like one time.
When was it?
TLT.
TLT?
Like TLT 3, I think.
Was that the Swiss year? Oh yeah! Because you both were 3-1. So the game literally doesn't matter, so you went ahead and did Metro.
We were locked. Yeah. So we both went for it with full-on memes.
And
one of those was actually a same 6 game.
And you lost.
Yeah, I lost that one.
Will you redeem yourself for this one?
Looking at these mons, I'm not confident.
Oh boy. This is a 50-50 for me. I literally can't predict because I know both these players too well to know that both of them are, so I can predict.
Yeah, although you're probably wondering why I'm here in same 6 and not Shiloh.
Because he's in the next game. National Dex Ubers minus obtainable forms, Shiloh versus Lottie.
Yeah, but you're probably wondering why Shiloh is there and not in same 6.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, Kate hasn't won.
So,
and you see, I have yet to play.
So Shiloh.
So like, okay, what do you want to play? And I say, okay, maybe either Rams, maybe Camo Doubles. I kind of like TSAA, but I'm not good in it. And I do like same 6. So they're like, okay, you play same 6. And Shiloh, how do you feel about Napdex Ubers? And he says, give me a team and I will win.
The utter confidence in Shiloh. Even though he's against Lottie, who is established Uber's main times 12. And a teammate of yours.
Shiloh actually asked for a specific type of team too, but of course I ain't disclosing that.
You were teammates with Lottie in BLT. Yes. So you know exactly how Ubers will go down. So...
Yeah, I believe I was teammates with him during the year of the Poochianas.
Yes, that is correct.
Did not make playoffs.
That is correct. I think I'm going to go with Lottie here, but only slightly. I'm not going to be surprised if Shiloh wins.
Shiloh will win. He said so.
Monotype Cap with another teammate of yours. Spoo versus Spitfire Arcanine.
I'm worried.
Yeah, you should be. Spitfire's been doing pretty well in Monotype Cap. But Spoo...
No, he hasn't.
What?
I'm pretty sure he's negative.
Let me check the frickin'... You're right, he's 1-2, frick.
Yeah, see? See? They
Isn't Spoo also 1-2? Isn't Spoo also 1-2?
Spoo isn't negative.
Is he neutral?
He's neutral at the moment.
1-1, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna predict Spitfire to win, though. Even though Spoo can just as easily pull...
By the way, Yukinos answered. This makes his 3rd time versus Mossy Sandwich in OM-related tours.
Are they 1-1? Please tell me they're 1-1.
Not sure.
That's funny. Yufinos and Mossy Sandwich have met 3 times.
This is the third time, by the way.
Yeah. Mystery OU, though, Easy versus Rob Jr. This one's ought to be close. This one's a highlight match. Both players are currently undefeated, according to Ufanos. Yeah.
Oh, actually, Mikoi.
What?
Lost to Mossy Sandwich more times than he's won.
0-2?
He says he's actually won 2.
Oh. Okay.
Did he place him twice in one of these tours he listed then? Maybe.
We'll have to recheck then. Anyway, Easy versus Rob.
Yeah, I guess this makes 4 times then.
Dang, alright. Part 4.
He's won less than he's lost.
T-
That's concerning, actually.
TSAA is unbreakable.
Okay. He faced Mossy twice in OMPL, that's why.
Okay, that makes sense. Mystery.
He's gonna be hearing this in the video, and he's gonna realize that I'm looking at this live.
You're welcome. Easy versus Rob Jr. This is a highlight match. Both players are great. 4-0 currently, so highlight, hype. I think I'm gonna go easy. I'm gonna go easy. Easy.
Oh wait, I didn't get to talk more about Spoo versus Spitfire.
Alright.
There was another reason why I was worried, despite the fact Spitfire's record ain't the greatest right now.
Why?
Spoo said Spitfire's a good friend of his.
That is apparently justification in whether or not they will win or not.
No, it's not that. Spoo says usually Spitfire beats him.
Frick. Well, alright. Be worried then. Be worried. So yeah, and also I get my predictions for Easy versus Rob Jr. Easy will win. No questions asked. Maybe Rob will win. Who knows? And finally, we got the Runheim Renerigus versus the Full Moon Frostmots, the reigning champions. No more. First off, TSAA, Long Heap versus Rice Man. Hype. This one's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna say Long Heap though, because he's been doing absolutely fantastic in TSAA. Even though Riceman can build, I think Long Heap's got it down.
Yeah, true.
So.
Also, I stand corrected. Euphanos has actually faced Mossy 5 times.
Are they 2-2? Are they 2-2? Please tell me they're 2-2. It would be poetic.
Actually, yeah.
Poetic. All right. So who you picking? Long Heap.
Yeah, I'm picking Long Heap just by a little bit. I think Rice Man can probably do it. I don't know. My gut is telling me Rice Man, but my head says Long Heap. You know.
Okay. So the conflict begins. Stab and Mega, Fab Wooloo versus El Gino. Now this one, I have the internal dilemma as well, because my gut is saying El Gino will win, but my head says Fab Wooloo might win.
I predict Fab Wooloo.
Alright, I'm gonna go with my gut and say El Gino wins. A disagreement.
Joey will not be happy.
But, hey, if it makes it feel any better, I might... I'll tell him later. Multi-gen Rans. We got London versus Fragments. This one is going to be interesting. I'm going to say Fragments.
I'll say Fragments too.
Okay. Camo Doubles. Rolski versus Mimoric. Oh boy, I can't wait for Mimoric. Actually, this is a battle between two fellow countrymen of mine, so this is going to be an all-out Filipino war.
They're both from the Philippines? Oh, yeah, they are.
Yes, they are both from the Philippines, and I'm going to say Mimoric wins.
Is that a Filipino accent?
Yes. Well, yes, make fun of it all you want. Don't worry. We're used to it.
Okay, just don't usually hear that from you.
All right. So yeah, Memoric wins. No questions asked.
Yeah.
National deck same 6. I mean, GXE versus RS9. What can you really say about a GXE versus RS9 that hasn't already been said in past BLTs or past TLTs? I don't think they've even met in BLT or TLT, but they've met twice, I believe, in TPP. In the same freaking tier as well.
Wow, okay, makes sense.
This is hard. This one's really hard. I'm gonna go GXE. I still think GXE is the better player of the two. National Dex, Ubers minus obtainable forms. Based what versus Skooma? Base one's kind of hard as well. Now, base what is very, very used to Ubers. Very good in Ubers as well. Skooma, AG main, Ubers main, a very high level Mons player as well. I'm going to say Skooma, but only slightly.
I don't even know.
Just to go with your gut. What does your gut say?
My gut says based what?
Okay, so based what it is. Monotype.
Honestly, it's hard to predict for either of these guys.
Okay. Monotype Cap, Tier versus RSB.
Tier.
Even though Tier hasn't been doing the best, RSB can play Monotype Cap well. I mean, he did pick up that win over Perish Song.
Are you forgetting what matchup that was?
No, yeah, the matchup though was kind of RSB's favor and a half.
It was one of 3 times we got electric.
That's seriously the 3rd time? Wait, seriously, last week was the 3rd time you faced Electric Team? Wow.
Yes.
Hilarious.
There's no way we just got electric twice.
It's
no way
time to bring
it against us a 3rd time.
It's time to bring ground. It's time to bring ground. Tier to win. No, actually no. RSB to win. I think RSB. I'm gonna predict an upset here.
Tier to win.
I'm gonna predict an upset. Prick RSB. Mystery OU. Mystery OU. Ewin versus Reginald. Ewin.
I'm so sorry, Reginald.
I think the streak is over, Rachi. Ewin is good.
My fellow Papyrus, my guy. I'm so sorry. But I gotta predict Ewin here.
It's gonna be close, but I think Ewin wins. And that brings us to the end. He wins. It's time. Then that concludes week 6's video. Thank you all for watching.
By the way, Euphono says this is the 5th time he is facing Mossy in an OM-related tour. But basically, this includes tours, Plaza things as well as OM stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all kind of related. But and apparently, he has won versus Mossy 1 time, and Mossy has beaten him 3 times.
So, this is going to be it's not a best of 5 where the 5th game is close. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like.
I hope he gets a little more redemption.
We'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss a video until you come out. And we'll see you next week when we'll tackle week 6 recap and week 7 predicts. It's time to finally end this round robin crap.
Hey, no, not yet. 1 more week after this.
I know, it's finally time to end. It will be the end soon. But thank you all for watching. This has been Mikoi, signing out.
Goodbye.